Hey there, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to a new video. I thought it would be fun for today's video is going through my variegated plants and also rank them. And I'm not sure how I want to do it. Maybe we should do like a star rating, like 1 star easygoing and then 5 stars, really more like a hard variegated plant. The things that I'm going to share is all based on my own experience growing variegated plants. And I think for someone else they could have like a completely different experience with the same plant, and like not a single plant is the same though. Like I have some plants that I have two from, but they are like completely different in the way that they grow, or that the one is just way more finicky than the other one. So yeah, I think genes and all those stuff also plays a role with variegated plants. I must say, when I was putting all these plants over here, I was like, geez, there were a lot of variegated plants. I didn't know I had still so many. Because like, I think a year back or something, I was getting like totally obsessed with variegated plants. I wanted to have like all the variegated plants that there were, and I definitely had way more than I have now. I have got rid of a lot of variegated plants, and yeah, it mostly has to do with the fact that variegation can be really annoying, especially if there is like a lot of variegation on the plant. Then it easily browns, and yeah, then you sometimes just end up with a plant which you're not like really liking anymore just because of the way it is looking. So yeah, this is now currently what I have. There are some plants that I couldn't fit like in the screen, but I will definitely show them at the end of the video, and also like throughout the video I will mention some of the way that I care for them and what I think really works well with variegated plants. So yeah, I think without further ado, let's just go look at all the variegated plants. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna go into like a particular order because I haven't thought about like all the things which are like the easiest and the hardest. So we will just go about it, and yeah, I think I do start off with some moss balls that I have standing over here. Like this one is not in the frame, so I think we should start with this one. So this is the Epipremnum variegated elbow. It's not that big yet. It's still like very juvenile. Like the newest leaves do have like tiny pinholes, so it is starting to fenestrate, which is really nice. But this one, really easy going so far. Like on the bottom there are some leaves that have like more variegation than what's on the top, but even through that variegation it just keeps looking nice, and yeah, it's really forgiving. I can like underwater it, get the moss ball a little bit crispy and it will still it turns the variegation brown. So yeah, I think this one is definitely 1 star, really easy going. So if you're getting into variegated houseplants, then this is definitely a good starter plant to start with. So over here I have another moss ball plant. I have put it for sale, but I'm also like, I don't know, maybe I do want to keep it. But here I have the Syngonium elbow, also a really stunning plant. It has like these beautiful arrow shaped leaves. I must say that I have heavily neglected this plant, so it isn't looking its best anymore, but with this one I think I have grown it on top of the 90 centimeter moss ball 2 times now, and I've chopped it also 2 times. So yeah, I have it for a long time, and I find with this one variegation is also really easy going. It doesn't brown quickly. Like here is like a fully white leaf, and I think with the right care and conditions you can keep on to the fully variegated leaves for quite some time. However, I have really neglected it now, and there are some leaves which are now have like, I think I need to put the ISO a little bit lower. I don't know. But yeah, you can see, maybe here if the camera picks it up, there is like a slight bit of browning. It's more like little brown dots. I don't think the camera is really picking it up. But yeah, this is another one of those plants which is just really easy going and really forgiving. So yeah, for this one also 1 star, really easy going and a really good beginner variegated plant. What are we gonna do? Because I do have a lot of small plants standing. I also have some small plants standing over here. I think I'm now going to grab this one, and I kind of don't want to look at it because it makes me so sad. Oh, this is definitely one of my favorite plants, and it is going downhill, and I can cry about it. And it's so pretty. This is my Philodendron Florida Beauty. Such a stunning plant, beautiful variegation, but there's a big but. You can see here now, oh man, I can cry about it. It ruined my day when I noticed it, when it started to do this browning thing. It's also on this leaf, you can see it, and yeah, it started with like little brown spots, and like within days it spreads really quickly. So yeah, I'm really sad about this one because this was my favorite plant, and it has been already to so much, and now this, and yeah, it makes me really sad. And I think with this one what went wrong, because yeah, it was just going really well, and when I water it, I always water it really lightly. I do that with all my variegated plants, just really little water. But since it was not rooted into the moss ball, and like all the roots that were growing were like shriveled away, so I didn't keep the moss ball moist. But somewhere last week, because there is like 2 new growth points going, so I was like, I wanted to promote the root growth. So I did put a water bottle on it, and I think there was too much water, so it ended up accumulating also in the pot. Like not in the cover pot, there was no water over there, but yeah, probably there has been gotten a little bit too much water in the pot, and the substrate was too wet. And yeah, these are the results. The browning, like, I can cry. I think it's so sad because I'm not sure it's going to spread, but I'm scared that it is going to brown quite a bit. So yeah, that's it for this one. It is really pretty, and I don't know, I think it's a little bit maybe overexposed. Should I go? Maybe this is, yeah, I think this maybe is a little bit better. Like, but yeah, really stunning plant. And I did want to give this one like I wanted to give this plant like maybe 2 stars, because it was really easy going for me. But now that I see that I made one mistake with watering and it immediately does this, so yeah, I think I kind of give this one like a 4 star, because yeah, that it does this so quickly, it shows me that it's really not forgiving when it comes to watering. So yeah, 4 stars for this Florida Beauty. No, put it over there. What should we do now? I think this one is a nice one to show. I really need to water this one though, because it's really dry. But this is the Florida Coast. Also a really stunning plant, and I think this is one of those plants where light is really important for how the variegation is looking. Because I think some people say that like light is so important for like bringing more variegation in the plant, but in my experience that's definitely not the case for all the plants, but for this one certainly. Like if it gets like a lot of light, you can see with this, then it gets like this beautiful like white creamy color. And most of the times it does start to fade like to like more mint and then to a green, but sometimes they just keep yeah, this white color. This one did have more leaves, like I think it had like, I don't know, 2-3 more leaves that were also like this beautiful, like fully variegated. But then I moved it to a lower light location, and within like 2 days, melting, browning, however you want to call it. And that's also another thing which I think with variegated plants, like if it's doing really well, like in a certain spot in a certain spot which the light that it gets, and you move it to low light, then it most likely is going to throw a fit, and it does start to brown the variegation. So yeah, really annoying. But yeah, as long as you give them good lighting conditions, or like really consistent with watering, or like consistent, yeah, I think that's the right word, then yeah, they can keep looking nice for a long time. But yeah, this one, yeah, I think this is a hard one to rate, because it is easygoing if you give it the right conditions. But yeah, do you change something in the conditions, then it probably is going to throw a fit. So I think I'm gonna give it like 2/3 star rating for the Florida Rose. That's also, I think I haven't mentioned it, and maybe you already know, but like variegation in the plant, like it doesn't do anything for the plant, right? It doesn't provide energy for the plant because it can't photosynthesize because there's no chlorophyll. And I think like even if you have like a variegated plant, it takes more energy from the plant to sustain the variegation. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind with variegated plants. And most of the time the variegated plants grow slower than like their green counterparts. That's just something quickly I wanted to mention. Maybe I'm not saying it completely correct, but in big lines I think I said it okay. So that's it for that. Let me put it over there again. Okay, so that's that one. Let's do next. Should we do this like a small one? This is the Skin Depths Jade Satin Variegated. Also a really stunning plant. Has some beautiful variegation. And this plant I have chopped it quite some times now. It has been bigger. But this one really easy going. I think this one is definitely a 1-star. Because yeah, it doesn't really throw a fit. I have underwatered it a bit. I have moved it to different locations and it hasn't died off like the variegation. So yeah, I think this one is just also like a nice beginner variegated house plant. And yeah, it's just really pretty though. It has like a nice, like, I don't know, it is more matte but also a little bit like, yeah, jade satin. So it's probably a satin kind of finish. But yeah, really stunning plant and highly recommend if you're just getting into houseplants. Here I have the Alocasia Bambino Pink Variegated. Really cute little plant. I don't know, I think the leaves don't grow like really big. Maybe it does, but I only see like more like smaller versions on the internet. I must say that all the time it was really easy going. You can see it's now growing a fully variegated leaf over there. But yeah, this one was easy going, but now that we have entered like the colder months, and I do notice that it has dropped some leaves, but yeah, I think that's something that alocasias do, like also if they are not variegated. So yeah, the variegation also makes it probably even harder for it. So yeah, it's a little bit double. But yeah, if I see like there are some leaves on here which are like more than 50% variegated, and normally when it is like more than 50% variegated, then you get over that line where it can like wow, easy. So yeah, I think this is also quite an easy going plant though. I think I will give this one 2 stars. So yeah, 2 stars for this little cute pink variegated plant. Which should we do next? Is the Monstera Peru variegated, or I think it's also called Monstera Corsteniana or something. Yeah, really a struggle plant for me. I think the variegation in itself is not that super hard, but it just does not want to grow for me. I have this plant for more than a year. I think I got it with 2 leaves, and yeah. It just doesn't want to grow for me. It grows super slow. The moment that it is working on a new leaf, it takes like what, 2 months? Okay, my camera overheated, so I had to take a little break. So I'm not really sure where it was left. I think that I mentioned that it just doesn't want to grow for me. So yeah, I can't say that much about it because like, yeah, it just hasn't really grown for me. But I think it's like, when it comes for like really the variegation, it's like a 3 star. Yeah, I think I would give it a 3 star because leaves that it had grown also eventually started to brown. So yeah, I give this one a 3 star rating. Now I have one more over here. I also have a couple upstairs, but this is the Philodendron micans variegated. This leaf is dying off. This is like the leaf that I propagated it with. This is one of its newest leaves. It looks a little bit weird. I think it has had a little bit too much water or something. I got this one as a 1-leaf cutting. The variegation that it had was like just white. Then I moved it to a really high light location, and there the variegation turned a really weird color, like almost like pink and red and orangey like. At a certain point it started to revert and I was like, well, I do go and wait a little while, maybe like the next leaf is going to be just variegated again, but it wasn't, so I've chopped it and I think I have 3 or maybe 4 propagations, and I think this is the bottom cut. So that's the bottom cut. This is like one of the leaves that was like reverting, but the new leaf that it has grown, it has some variegation. I don't know if you really want to focus. It's not hardened off yet, so it may be going to look a little bit different. And then I have one that I had in my prop box, which has really, really beautiful variegation, like really different compared to the rest. Like look, it has beautiful variegation, beautiful half moon over there. This is the leaf where I propagated it, which you can still see like a little bit of that red color that it has. But yeah, really, really stunning. And I find this one overall with the variegation is really easygoing. I haven't had any problems with it. But the only thing I got like when what I showed with that one, that it gets like a see-through look to it. So yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I think it has maybe to do something with water or maybe even light, too much light. Not really sure. But like in the sense how it keeps onto its variegation, I think this one is like a 1 star so far. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's really really easygoing one, and it's really pretty and it grows fast. So yeah, a lot of great things to say about this. Let me see, I think we are going to do immediately everything on this table though. So here I have my philodendron cream splash. I have given it a big chop a little while back, so it was way longer than it is now. But yeah, this one also 1 star, really, really easygoing, and yeah, the variegation is really diverse. There are some bits that are just green, some have like only a little stripe. Here, this one is like, this one does has a little bit of melting going on, but here have another, oops, also some really nice variegation. Here on the top, also some nice ones. So yeah, I don't know, I think this one is also really easygoing. And one thing that I find really weird though, because at the beginning I had it growing like upwards, and when it was growing like that it gave like a lot of variegation. But the moment I had it like trailing down and like the vines growing downwards, it started to produce less and less variegation. And I don't know, it made me think like, should it be that the way that it grows could also like affect variegation? I don't know, I think this may be a little bit weird, but yeah, my experience with this plant is that it did do that though. When it was growing up, more variegation, growing down, less variegation. Like the bits that I've cut off only had like a little stripe in the middle. But yeah, really easygoing, also really forgiving with watering. So yeah, 1 star for the cream splash. I think, do I have more small plants? Yeah, some pink princesses, and I do have one standing over here. So this is another one of a small one, also an alocasia. This is the alocasia polyvariegated. I don't have it for super long, so I can't really say too much about it, but the recent leaf that it gave is like fully green, so I'm not sure if it's reverting right now. It is working on a new leaf, which is really exciting. If it is going to be variegated or not, we will see. When it comes to the variegation, like so far okay, like this is a half moon leaf and it's still on there. You only do maybe see it, there's some oedeme in there. And it does that every time when I water it, like even if I water it like the slightest bits, it does get like oedeme. But yeah, it hasn't really affected the variegation, only I feel like it is now, maybe is going to make the variegation look not that great. That's a little bit sad, but yeah, like I said, like my alocasias don't do really that well with the Golden ones. So, what should I give it? I think a 3 star rate. Yeah, 3 stars for the alocasia poly. So that's it for that, and I think we should now go to my pink princesses. I could make like a completely different video just dedicated to my pink princess journey, because I think I have pink princesses in my collection for I think 3 years, and I had 2 that were really big, and then I got like a really bad thrips infestation, and I was over it. I've chopped it all down and made wet sticks plants like that you see over here. Oops, I take it out of the pot. This is one that I've grown from wet sticks, so yeah, it's on a long journey. But the variegation that it has, like especially, let me see, yeah, I hope I can show it, but it's especially like the leaves at the bottom that have really stunning variegation. I think it's hard to show, but yeah, this is some of the new leaf. Here's the new leaf, not that much variegation. So there are 4 growth points on here. It is currently the remaining 3 also working on a new leaf, but if I see those, I think those are also don't have that much variegation. And I think that's also a good example, like when it was like getting lower light, it's like gave these leaves just with some nice variegation. And yeah, like this leaf grown in a place where it was getting like a really good amount of light, and yeah, as you can see, it's not really that variegated. So yeah, that's why I think like light does not affect like all variegated plants. Really stunning one, and yeah, I just wanted to have a really beautiful pink princess in my collection, so I've been just like keeping on to some propagations. Eventually I got another one, which is this one, and I think this one really has some really good genes. Like here, beautiful half moon, and like every leaf has like a nice galaxy kind of variegation. I think it's like a little bit similar to like the Thai constellation in how the variegation is looking. I feel like I'm talking so fast. Maybe it is because I'm in a hurry, but I hope it's not too bad. This is another one from the same plant. I also chopped it a couple times, and this one also beautiful variegation. I'll show you. So like fully variegated leaf, they're a nice one. This one is also working on 2 new leaves, and they look pretty pink. So really curious about it. And yeah, I think this one is also a really easygoing plant. It does hold on to the variegation for a long time, but I do feel like the pink fades with time. At the beginning it can give like a really bright variegated color, but it does turns a little bit more pale with time. And yeah, here I have another pink princess. And here also another one. This one is not doing that well. It's like not that pretty. There's one in here which has some better variegation. But yeah, I think this one 2 stars. Do I have another one? No, those were all the variegated pink princesses. So yeah, I think for the pink princess 2 stars. Yeah, 2 stars. Let me see, we are almost there. This is also, oh, sorry. Oh, there was another tiny one hiding over there. So yeah, here's another one, really one of my favorites. Can I put it all on the screen? Beautiful variegated fried egg. So yeah, this one I have a really great experience. But I think it also has to do with the variegation is just really nicely balanced. So like here it is working on a new leaf. Really hard to show. There's the new leaf, also really pretty variegated, and it's also working on 2 other leaves. This one is really easy growing for me. It doesn't throw really a fuss. I must say, like you can see these leaves are like really drooping down. But they aren't yellowing, and maybe this one, yeah, this one is yellowing though. But yeah, that's something that alocasias can do, especially when they are growing a new leaf, that they abort like the oldest leaf. But sometimes it also happens that they just root down, and the moment like the new leaf is like hardened off and everything, then the older leaf just perk back up. But yeah, this one really easy going. If I have to give this like a star rating, then I think it will be, when it comes to the variegation, at least with this one, I think I would give it 2 stars. But there's a but, and I will show you, because I have another variegated fried egg, this one, and this one I have in my collection for way longer than that one. I think 1.5 years maybe. But this one I really struggle with it. Like, I bought it as like a highly variegated one, and yeah, I will not recommend that though. Like, sometimes I do see people selling like Monstera albos, full moon, those kind of things, and they ask a lot of money for it, and I'm like, why would you want to have a plant like that? It maybe looks nice, but yeah, that plant will really have a hard time. And yeah, I think for people that don't really know variegation, they are just like, oh, really pretty plants, and then they end up realizing that their plant is dying because, well, it doesn't have any chlorophyll, so can't really grow. So yeah, also a tip, like, if you're going for variegated plants, like, make sure there's like a nice balance of variegation and not like too much like, is this strips? Oh no, no trips, I think it's a little bit of dirt. But yeah, I got this as a highly variegated one, and yeah, as you can see, like here, this leaf is doing that, like, yeah, it's on its way out though. It doesn't really go that well for me. And I must say they both had the same conditions, like the same like watering, light, humidity, all those things. So yeah, that's what I meant. Like, you can have like 2 of the same plants and still they respond really different. So if I would give this like a star rating, then it will be like 5 plus, because it's awful. We're almost there. I think it's now just only my monsteras. Oh no, wait, let me see, how late is it? Oh man, really need to go away with 20 minutes. So I'm going to go through these ones a little bit quickly. Here is another really stunning plant, the Monstera adansonii variegated, and I find this a hard one to rate because I think like if it's not giving like too much variegation, then it's like easygoing, but if it is like giving a lot of variegation, then yeah, it's quite hard. Like, you can see here, I wanted to chop it off yesterday, but I didn't do it because I wanted to show it. But yeah, this leaf is almost fully variegated. It is starting to brown. This one over here is also starting to brown. So yeah, and also it just really doesn't want to root in the moss bowl for me. I don't know why though. So yeah, I think this one, I think I will give it a 4 star though, because yeah, like I said, it depends on the variegation though. Like, if it's like, for example, like this leaf, it is like half green and like half variegation, then yeah. But no, I think I will still give it like a 4 star rating though. And this one too, I've chopped it like 2 times already. Like, it was on the top and I've chopped it down, so chopped it again. And yeah, it is a really vigorous grower though. It grows really fast, like especially for variegated plants. I think it's like amazing how fast it grows. So yeah, for this one, 4 stars. Yeah, I'll give it a little bit more of a close up because it is really stunning though. So that's it for the adansonii, and now for, I do have this little small one over here, right? Another monstera, the Monstera minima variegated, or I think it is the Rhabdophora tetosperma. But with this one, I also don't really have that much luck with it. I got it as a single leaf cutting, it had grown more leaves, but I already chopped quite some leaves because they were like almost fully variegated, and yeah, they started to brown. And here you can also see a bit of browning on the tip, and I think this one, yeah, also had a little bit. But yeah, I don't know, I think like if you give it like the good conditions, it can grow, then it can be really grow nicely though. But I've also like changed its locations many times. So yeah, I think I will give this, should I give it? I think 3 stars. For now at least. I will give it like, I will definitely put it in a location and just keep it there and just see how it goes then. But so far I will give it a 3 star. Now we only have to go to my bigger monsteras. Do want to be a little bit careful because it is growing a new leaf. So this is one of my monstera. This is one of my monstera albos. I have another one standing over there, which I maybe also will show. I think this is just such a classic variegated plant to have in your collection, and I find this one is pretty easygoing. I think this one, I think maybe 2 stars though, because yeah, it's just really easygoing. Like even though it has a lot of variegation, it keeps looking nice. And I feel like it's now like way more of an so maybe this, yeah, this is a little bit better. But yeah, 2 stars for this monstera albo because it just goes really easy, and yeah, so far I have not really problems with this one. But if I compare it to my other monstera, which I will just try and take it. So much plants over here. So here is my other monstera albo. Yeah, this is just a little quick view of it. So I will put it back now though. But so I find that monstera is a little bit finickier with the variegation, but I think it also had to do with I've moved it to a different location 2 times. I gave that one trips treatment, but this one too, and this one doesn't really show any signs of not liking that. So yeah, I think it really had to do, like, I changed the location 2 times of that one. So yeah. But still, like, I think like for the variegation, 2 stars. And now for the last one, I do also have 2 of them. That is this one. It's so big. So here is the Monstera Thai Constellation. A while back I took a top cut and how am I gonna place this plant and talk? So like this. Like the previous leaf also had like sectorial parts of variegation, like you can maybe see here a bit. But yeah, I think this one is a 5 star for me. Like I find this one is really hard. Like even though it has like a small part of sectorial variegation, if it undergoes like the slightest change, like a little bit off with watering, a little bit too much or a little bit too less, or you move it like 1 meter to the side, then it immediately throws like a fit with the variegated parts. So yeah, this is definitely a 5 star for me. I find it really hard and I'm curious if you have it in your collection, what is your experience with it? But yeah, for me it's definitely a 5 star. But that is for this Monstera, because I do have another one over here. So here, oh Jesus, it's so top heavy. So yeah, here is another Monstera Thai Constellation, and as you can see, this one also has quite some sectorial variegation, but no problems at all with it. The camera overheated again, but I don't know where it was left, but I think like I wanted to say like this variegated parts just keep looking nice. And that makes me wonder though, because I don't know, I got this one just at the local garden center, so I'm not sure if it's like tissue culture or not, but this one I got like as like the teeniest, tiniest tissue culture plant. And I got it, it mentioned that it was like the Monstera Thai Constellation Creme Brulee. I don't know, I don't notice any difference in like the variegation compared to the other one, but it does hold on to the variegation way more better than the other one does. So it kind of makes me think that this tissue cultured plant is like stronger than that one is. And I think, like I heard people saying about Thai Constellation 2.0, that that's just like a whole different type of Monstera, that one is way more harder. So yeah, based on my experience, the tissue culture is really growing really nicely. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if it's like tissue cultured or not. So maybe that's just like the Thai 2.0 to 2.0, 2.1. So yeah, if I compare this one, then I will give this one like a 1 star. So yeah, it's completely different to that one, that 5 star, this is a 1 star. So yeah, that's what I said. Like, I think it also just really depends on the plant itself. I really need to do something about this one though. Okay, so a couple minutes the sun was out and now it's raining again. But yeah, I think that's all for like my variegated plants, at least that I have standing here. I do have, I think, 4 more plants in my collection that are also considered variegated. So maybe I will add like a different clip in there and also show those ones. So here's one of the plants that I didn't show. This is the Epipremnum aureum, I think, and it doesn't have that much variegation, but there are some leaves which do have some nice variegation. On top there are a couple. And yeah, for this plant also definitely 1 star, really easygoing. And behind there is a plant which I'm really amazed by how it's doing with such little light. This is the variegated string of hearts. And yeah, as you can see, it gets really low light. It's like definitely 4 meters away from the window, and it's also getting blocked by the Epipremnum. But still, here you can, I hope it wanted to show, you can see it has a little bit of that white on the edges of the leaves. And with this plant, if it gets like a lot of light, then this variegation turns pink, but I don't know if there is a little bit of pink left. No, I think it's almost all white. But yeah, really amazed about how it's growing over here. And for this one also 1 star, really easy going. In the hallway upstairs I have 2 more variegated plants, and this is the first one, the spider plant. It has a lot of babies, really cute. This one also definitely 1 star, really easy going, very forgiving. This one has the variegation on the inside of the leaf. And then over here I have another one, and as you can see, this one has the variegation on the outer side of the leaf. So yeah, both spider plants and both really easy going, so 1 star. So for now I wanted to take a little moment and share some of my care tips. I think I've along the video mentioned it a little bit, but I think it's now time for just give a little bit of sum up. So my experience with variegated plants, first of all, they can be really finicky. The thing what I think is the most important factor for variegated plants is the watering and the light. I think humidity isn't that of like a crucial factor for the variegated parts, but I do think that watering and light is like a really big part of it. Like I said, in my experience, like the moment you move it to like lower light, or you like water it like a little bit too bit, then a little bit too bit, a little bit too much, then it is throwing a fuss. I can't come out of my words anymore. So yeah, my tip when it comes to watering variegated plants is to water it like really gently, like not soak it all the way through, but just go a little bit like shoof over it, so that there is some moisture in the pot, but not like too much, you know. And also with light, like they can appreciate a lot of light. Like I said though, the variegated parts don't have any chlorophyll, so they can't photosynthesize. So the more variegation the plant has, I think the more light it could also use. So yeah, I think those are just really the most important steps. 1, be really careful with watering. Don't water it too much. And 2, give them a lot of light, but also not direct sunlight, you know. So yeah, without further ado, I really need to end this video right now because I do need to go to an appointment. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I feel like it maybe is a little bit washed. I hope that while editing it doesn't look that washed as how I am feeling at the moment. So yeah, I hope you maybe learned something from it, or yeah, took something out of this video that you can maybe implement for your own variegated plants. And also let me know, what is your experience with variegated plants? What do you think is the most important for them to keep them thriving and looking nice? And please let me know in the comments. I would really love to know what your experience is with it and what you find the easiest going, or like the hardest going variegated plant. And yeah, without further ado, I really hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye! No. Jeez. God. This is really sad, man. The most prettiest leaf. Can I just put it on it? Ja.
Prinses van de bank.
Het mooiste blad.
Oh, zet hem op water, misschien gaat hij groeien.
Ja. Ja. Really sad. Shit happens.